Hello, my name is Weston Baker, and this is the first prototype for CGT 390, where I will be showing my prototype mechanic, which is recoil, specifically the recoil in CSGO and Valorant, which I showed in class. The main part of this mechanic is that the recoil does not go directly to where the reticle is, and it makes a um, random spray pattern above the reticle. So first I'm going to show how it looks normally. I'll show the code, and then I'll show kind of some of the things that I had to overcome while making this. Uh, and yeah, so let's get right into it. So here's how it's going to look um, without any differences to it. So obviously it shoots directly to where the reticle is. There's no recoil at all. There's a little gun animation for like the way that moves, but it's not physically actually changing where the bullet's going. So let's go look at the code real quick. And the first thing that I did was I made a few private vector threes here that I called current rotation and target rotation, which I'll get into what they do later. And then I made a private floats for the recoil in the different axis. So the recoil for the X direction is going to be a set variable because we don't really want that to be random, because we do want it to continue to go up rather than like going randomly up and down. But we do want the Y to be random, which I'll show in the code. The Z, we don't really want it to move in the Z axis at all. And then there's snappiness and return speed, which I'll show what they do later. So here in the update function is where I've written the code, where we have the target rotation, which we're going to do a lerp, and it's going to be lerping to vector 0. So as you're shooting, the gun's continually trying to go back to the center. And we're doing the return speed time delta time, and that's how fast that it's going to be trying to return back to the center. And then we have the current rotation, which we're doing a slurp, and we're going to that target rotation. So every time we're firing, it's going up, and snappiness is how fast it's going up to that. And then we're actually doing that rotation here, and we're using quaternion Euler because that's what's responsible for rotations in Unity. And if we go down here, this is where we have it called within the fire function. As you see, here's the fire function here. And we're taking the target rotation, we're adding vector 3, and then for the first vector we have, or for the first part, we have recoil x, which we have set as I think -7. And then we have a random range for y, so it's going to choose randomly in between what I had set there. I think it was 2, so it's between -2 and 2, so it's going to go back and forth a little bit randomly. And we also have the y or the z set up in case we want to do some randomness with the z as well, but currently we have it set at 0. And let's see what that does right now. So this was one of the first problems that I ran into. So if we go back here, we check it out. Once it loads. All right. So as we go into it, as you can see, the gun model is moving up, but the bullets are still going to where the reticle is, which obviously is a problem. So we're really close here, and I was having trouble figuring out how to get this, but what's happening is it's taking where the muzzle is, and it's obviously doing the rotation there, but right here we have the raycast, which is where the bullets are coming out from, and it's taking the player camera position rather than the muzzle position, and that is why it's continuing to shoot forward. So even though the bullet's coming out from a different place, it's still going to wherever that raycast is coming from. So what I did to fix that, with some help from Rob, is let's comment this out here. I added this code here, which is just a little different from this one, where instead of taking the player camera position, we're taking the muzzle socket position, and we're taking the muzzle socket forward, so whatever direction it's facing, and the bullet's coming out from that. It's taking a raycast from that rather than from the player camera. So if we go back in here, now we see that if we're shooting, the bullet is going up in a spray pattern away from where the reticle is, just like how it would in CSGO or Valorant. And if I want to kind of try and control that, I can kind of pull down and try and get it in the center, like you would in those games. So that is my video for showing off my mechanic, and hope you all enjoyed. Thank you.